welcome back to Dukascopy TV. Today I'm Doireann Mc Dermott, and today I have Claude Cellich with me in the studio from the International University of Geneva, and today we're going to have a look at trade strategies and trade promotion. So welcome.
Thank you.
So why exactly should we have trade strategies, and who is concerned?
Okay, globalization has been with us now for some time, and it has led to a boom in international trade. According to a World Bank report, the GDP worldwide has increased 2.3% per year. At the same time, the international trade has grown by 6.5%, which means almost 3 times. As a result, there's a lot of competition worldwide, and companies have to fight for survival. And this is where governments have realized that there's a need to develop a strategy that is relevant in today's world. Now, you mentioned who's concerned. Everybody's concerned. Until recently, strategies were developed from the top and then given to the organizations to implement it. That didn't work very well. Now what they're doing, they consult everybody, both the public sector and the private sector. They get involved from the beginning. They participate in the development of a strategy, which means they're committed to its implementation. And this has been, some countries have done this and they're doing much better.
And just on the point of fighting for survival due to increasing international competition.
Yes.
Now, can you tell me about some maybe national initiatives, because the role of government is becoming increasingly important for companies?
The governments now have access to a number of trade tools that did not exist years ago. These are developed by the World Bank and other UN organizations, and these tools help government decide where they have a comparative advantage, whether in terms of products or in terms of markets. And as a result of it, they develop a strategy. For example, Chile has decided to have 10 products, and that's it. In other words, you cannot help everybody today. You have to specialize in which markets, which products, and which companies. It's hard now for government to tell companies, we won't help you, because they're not part of the strategy.
And can you tell me about some countries where trade has actually been very, very important, and they've they've become very successful economically because of trade? Right.
Well, there are a number of course, Asia is the first thought. Hong Kong has done well. Singapore has done extremely well. Malaysia now is developing some interesting techniques. South Korea is doing well. Island of Mauritius is done extremely well. They actually been awarded for being the best among the smaller countries. In Europe, you have some countries also doing very well. Sweden, for example, and Denmark. Another country has done very well. It's Canada. What Canada has done, they have developed a trade commercial service, or the commercial attaché, using sophisticated software, where a small company can have access to their know-how via internet, and so on. It could be many others, yes. Another thing that you were both mentioning, that because these governments realize that the private sector has to be involved, the board of directors now are no longer government. They could be 100% private sector, or it could be a combination of private and public sector. Even the funding, some of them, like Costa Rica, I believe, is funded by the private sector. And the names have changed. For example, in Mauritius, the trade promotion body is now called Enterprise Mauritius. Same thing in Ireland. The Irish Export Board is now called Ireland Enterprise, which shows the business aspect is taking over from the traditional government function.
And do you think there are any countries out there that could actually be more successful with trade, and are not really taking advantage of that?
That's very hard to say. There are a lot of countries that are trying to. It's hard to change, particularly if it's for government. It takes time. Let me mention one thing that to be involved in international trade takes several years. You cannot just jump in and out. It takes several years to become involved and to succeed. Now, most government assistance was on a yearly basis, and that didn't work well. Now, I think these countries that have done well, they look at a 3-year or 5-year plan, and the funding is available during that time. And also the UK, for example, has developed a sophisticated evaluation techniques so that you know if it's well worth it or not. You don't wait 3 years or 5 years to decide it's not working.
And finally, Claude, where do you see the future of trade promotion?
Well, I see a wonderful future, just because, as I say, the international trade is the most dynamic sector of any economy. And a lot of tools have been developed lately, which are available. And internet has been a great help. Even a small exporter today can have access to information anywhere in the world. So I think there's a beautiful future for trade promotion.
Sounds good, Claude. It's always good to have hope and something to look forward to. Thanks again for coming into the studio.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for the invitation.
All right, viewers, well, that is it for right now, but do stay tuned to Dukascopy TV for more economic updates and Forex analysis. But for now, goodbye.